Yes, sir. Good morning, y'all. 6 o'clock on the dot. It's your boy ARP, and we back with the Sorry It's True podcast. Yes, the change of hat. Back to my city, my state, New York. All right, and especially when you see a thumbnail like this, right? Is New York drill rap a trap? And then I'm going to get into some battle rap stuff as well. You still see Aye Verb there. You know, something I want to talk about surrounding his name is Aye Verb God Tier. I want to expound on that a little bit more, pull up some stats, pull up some websites for y'all because that topic kind of kicked off in spaces the other day. Shout out to the boss, Hitman, everybody was in there. I jumped in. I thought it was an interesting topic. So I want to expand on it a little bit more. Why not? So if y'all want to call this day 12, so be it. All right. Day 12 without the St. Louis hat. Okay. How y'all feeling out there, man? It's Monday. Y'all getting back to work? Y'all on the grind? Y'all getting to it? Y'all good? All right. All right. All right. I'm here to work as well. All right. I'm here to work with y'all. Today, we will be going over, like I mentioned, the New York drill rap scene. I won't get too heavy because it really spawns off of something that, shout out to Checks and Balances, tossed in there in our chat room, which is DThang getting arrested in Miami. So I want to pull that news up. That's going to lead me a little bit more into New York drill rap. And then I want to pull up something that's not necessarily tied to New York drill rap per se, but tied to New York teen violence. A very, very big story, and something around that story happened recently. Big shout out to Checks and Balances. Y'all will see when I get there. Then we'll get into some battle rap, as I said. And then I got a couple small clips to close out. I'm gonna guess an hour today. All right. I'm gonna guess an hour. All right. So real brief shout out to all the members and all the moderators coming into the chat. Jay, I see you here bright and early. Happy Monday. KX starting off with the gifts right away. Our member on the channel. Shout out to KX, man. I appreciate you as always. Big Yellow's in the building. He says salute green team. Yes, that's the members in the building. What do we got here in the chat? Dang, I missed the gift. Just hang around, man. Just hang around. You know, every time we live, they flying around, especially from KX. They fly around. Sincerely, Tiff Marie is in the building, one of our members. Good morning. Good morning. Hustle Boy, our member is in the building. Okay. Our member Jamar is here. Good morning, G. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Karma Love is with us. He says, yep, doing my rounds right now, checking on my residents. Dope, man. Dope. Sound like a landlord's duties. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. My guy Kelson is here. Salute. Good morning. Cap is in the building. All right. Good morning, y'all. Let's get working. Let's get the Monday rolling. Good morning, Craig. I appreciate you, G. All right. Members in the building, mods in the building, chat is here. Let's start working, y'all. So, first and foremost, DThang from New York drill rap getting arrested. So, I saw this thrown in the chat, and I went and found a little video update for us to watch real quick, come up to speed. Let's check this out.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to y'all with another video. Now today we got DThang being arrested in Miami for being in possession of a gun as a convicted felon. So let's get right into it.
So DThang was just released about a year and a half ago after serving a 3-year sentence while he was facing RICO charges along with various other charges.
They know what's going on, twinning them. They know what's going on, twinning them. Come on now. Yeah. No, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, today he was arrested again, and he sadly may not be getting out for a while this time. It started after DThang took a flight to Miami to do some networking and features, and only about 2 days after linking up with popular Miami drill rapper D30, he would be arrested for possession of a gun by a convicted felon. Now, this is very bad news for DThang, because he will most likely have to sit in jail for a long time again, due to him already being a felon caught with a firearm and him still being on parole from his previous charges. Thankfully, it was just a regular gun, though, and not a modified one that's often carried in Miami like a switchy. It was posted to NY Drill Official, and some fans went to share their opinions on it in the comments section.
He wasn't doing nothing for the scene anyway.
Come on now, dog.
Keep him in there. Don't free him.
Come on, man.
Keep him until he can release better music.
Shah Osama commented.
Damn.
Law on parole too? Yeah, free everybody.
CPD Films wrote.
Why is he holding that when he's in Miami and on parole? Shake my head.
And just like that, Bro is back in the situation he just got out of a year ago.
After the news broke that DThang had just been arrested again, some of the people close to him started to react to this devastating situation. His little sister made a post saying, "Free my brother."
Revolving door, man. Revolving door, unfortunately. It's the possession of a firearm by a felon and all that's really gonna, I don't know the mandatories in Miami. You know, once upon a time, especially, was it around when Giuliani came into power as a New York mayor? It might have been around that time. The mandatories of New York around being caught with an illegal firearm changed drastically. It was like mandatory bullets or mandatory 5. I don't know what it is in Miami. Miami definitely way more lax when it comes to their gun policies or laws than, of course, in New York. New York is like one of the worst places to get caught with a gun. One of the worst. But in Miami, I mean, you're traveling, maybe drove down there, maybe linked up with somebody, got his hands on something. The guy's got a big reputation. He's got a lot of ops. He's got a lot of friction out in the streets, got a lot of problems. So why he had a gun would be a stupid question to me. Like why is he holding a gun? Like, he's probably feels the need to protect himself, 24/7 with his type of lifestyle. But if you are going to be running around, you just got out of jail a year ago, right? He's got some money. I'm not trying to say that the guy is super rich or nothing like that, but you got to try to move with somebody else that maybe is in a different position. Maybe they're legal. They're the ones that got it for you. In any event, we don't got to break down all the mistakes. You get caught, you get caught. It's a revolving door for the man. But this absolutely is one of New York drill scene's bigger stars or biggest stars, right? And even if we look at some of his views within like the last year, so I'll pull him up on YouTube. I just got a pulse of I don't listen to all his music like that, to be honest, but I said let me check him out as of recent. Let me see how he's doing out there. 1 year ago, 4.7 million views. That's a pretty big video. This is his arrest video right here. I think we just watched that. He's got a channel here with 323,000 subscribers. 3 years ago, 51 million views on that video. He's got a lot of big shorts. 1.3 million on this particular short right here. 250,000, right? Or almost 300 on this particular short. What else he got going on? Look at this. 1 million 5 months ago. 11 months ago, 2.6 million. This is a short. This is just a little quick freestyle. 10 months ago, 1.3 million. He stays in God tier views. All right. We'll transition that in later. 1 million views. He stays in that. We'll transition in all the dancing by the Gangsters too. We'll transition. Stay with me, people. But he stays with God tier views. 2 years ago, 4.2. Everything that he's touching is damn near 1 million and better. Damn near. And one of the biggest, man, to go through that. If we take down DThang and look at some other New York drill rappers, right? I pulled up a top 10 list. Now, this isn't my list. Nobody get, upset, start arguing with me. He's not top 10. He's not top 10. But I said, let me just Google it real quick. This is best New York drill rappers. And this is a list that was made in 2022. So it's a little outdated, but the top 10 list, who they have here. All right. They got, we got 10. They got number 1, they got Keef, right? I don't know why they have this picture of Keef. Keef is in the thumbnail with the red bandana over his face. We know what just happened to him. He just got convicted, right? He's serving time right now himself. So there you go, right? So you have a DThang, right? Who just got out, but it just was picked up. So how much time he's about to face, we'll see. You got Keef. Everybody knows where he is right now. They just have the wrong picture of him here. Keep going. 5-year foreign. Where is he right now? Serving time. He's in jail. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say serving time, right? Is he still coming up on trial? I forget. But he's in jail. He's incarcerated right now. Chef G. Where's Chef G right now? Incarcerated, right? Chef G. Curly Sav, I don't really follow. Chat, y'all can let me know what's up with him right now. Is he out? Is he free? Same thing with 22G's. Very, very big artist from the New York drill scene. Y'all can let me know what's up with him right now. Is he a free man right now? Is he okay right now? Rowdy Rebel came home a couple years ago. Jail ruined his career, if you ask me. Ruined his career. Okay, let's keep going. CJ, some would say he was an industry plant. Right? Was he ever truly a real drill rapper? Probably not. But in 2022, when this list was made, I guess you put him up there, right? Bobby Shmurda, prison ruined his career. I think Bobby Shmurda's still out there. He still has a big enough name to get out there and make some money, though. But when I say ruined his career, I'm talking about where they were when they went in, what their trajectory was, and then where they are now. When you look at Bobby and Rowdy, Rowdy is rarely talked about. The last time the internet talked about Rowdy Rebel was because he pretty much dissed like damn near all LA and the gangs in LA, right? And then he did like a no jumper interview to explain it, and that other like Rowdy Rebel music wise, nobody's talking about him. He's not really making any noise. I don't know if he's doing shows, if he's getting booked. I just don't see much happening from Rowdy Rebel. Bobby Shmurda, we saw what happened with his tour recently. They said that the promoter was saying that it wasn't selling or whatever. Believe who you want to believe in that story. But Bobby seems to be a guy that's using his name, and he's moving around. He's moving around. I could see Bobby popping up on a feature or popping up on doing a show or popping up for walkthroughs or whatever. I think his name is still strong enough to get out there and get money, right? But we looked at Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel and the whole GS9 movement as the next Wu-Tang or some shit. Like, I know I'm exaggerating, but prison stopped all of that. It stamped all of that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Killed all of that shit. Busy Banks, I don't know what's up with him. Who else? Who else from the New York drill scene? It just feels like, so we know what happened with Pop Smoke. He's deceased. It just feels like all the biggest New York drill rappers are either deceased or in jail as we speaking right now. All the top 6 guys, right? Deceased or in jail. Fabio, Pop, Chef, K-Flock, DThang. It's wild, B. It's fucking wild. Now, when we ask ourselves, is New York drill, you see the title, is New York drill rap a trap? Of course it is. Duh. Why is it a trap? Is it New York drill rap without real legitimate ops? No, it's not. And I know that New York is a derivative of other places that were doing drill music way before New York. Of course, primarily Chicago, right? But you can't be an official New York drill rapper unless you have ops, real ops. Okay? Dare I say, some people might call this a stretch, but dare I say, you can't be a New York drill rapper unless you have stripes. What I mean by stripes, you never spun nothing. You never got active. You never did a drive-by. You never stomped out an op. You never was fighting out in the streets over the ops. You never had no shootings, nothing. You never been shot. You never been stabbed. You never been to jail. If you have no stripes, you damn near not a New York drill rapper. And that's another reason why they do so much of it publicly. Now, I know the inspiration, once again, is to Chicago, right? But some of the public stuff is also tied into making sure that people understand that I have rank. What's the other tie into the public stuff? Like, that's just so much a part of drill. The almighty view. The almighty view. These rappers cannot do even half the views that they would do with these type of songs if they wasn't talking about the shootings, the killings, the subliminals, the gang wars. We love to listen to these songs and hear the story of what's going on in the street. We're attracted. It's like human nature, right? We're attracted to it, right? Me as well. I listen to it. I pick out certain subliminals and lyrics and be like, "Ooh, he's talking some shit right there. Oh, you see that sub that King Von just do at FBG duck and Lil Durk just do at duck and all that. Should have ducked and all that, right?" Like, we're here for it. We're not gonna lie to ourselves. It's attractive to us. But there is no such thing as these guys actually getting opportunities to fly to Miami and do these bookings or do these features or do some of these shows without that style of music, right? Like being able to crack doing just like pure lyricism these days, you don't see it anywhere near as often. I can tell you 15 New York drill rappers that are putting up views because they talking that shit, right? I can't tell you 15 New York rappers right now that are putting up views simply because we turned our head and said, "Yo, you hear how much of a lyricist that guy is?" You don't see that too much anymore. Okay, you're gonna see a Joey Badass come along, or what was like maybe like a Ali Vegas. Like, remember Ali Vegas? Do y'all really remember Ali Vegas? They started giving him comparisons to like Nas. That doesn't happen today. All right. What's the fastest route to the views? The views turn into money. The money is the goal for everybody. The fastest route to the views is the drama, is the beefing, is the drilling, right? You just don't see it anymore. Like I wish I could see. I would listen to it, just a Chef G or K Flock, and they just happen to be lyricists. Now, if I throw this little quick angle in real quick, is talent just that sparse? And when I say talent, no disrespect, right? But it don't take that much lyrical or creative ability to be a drill rapper, right? I could be a drill rapper. I was not born with the talent to rap, but I can write drill rap. I promise you, and it'll sound just as good as anybody else's shit. All you got to do is have the image, the street shit to you, and all that, and you can go with it, right? It's not easy to come out here and be the next Nas. You got to be born with that shit to put words together like that, right? And so people see it as a hustle. People see it as a hustle. But the trap of it, once again, is you're not a drill rapper and you don't have this opportunity to get to this money, which is easier than some of the other more creative lanes or building of careers or whatever. They see this shit as like, that's my way out. That's my way to making money. Okay, so get the views. How do you get the higher views? Let me go talk about stabbing these three niggas over here. Cool. 5 million views on YouTube. If that ain't a trap, I don't know what the fuck else is. In the words of FBG Duck, when he did Dead Bitches, right? After Chicago Legends, I always point out that line when he says, the Chicago Legends, that was just about business. Interpret that how you want to interpret it, right? Damn near got backlash for doing that song, right? And it was supposed to be positive. Got backlash for it. And then he dissed himself damn near for doing it on Dead Bitches, right? And now when you look at Chicago, who was the ultimate influence for all of this, and I don't need to go down where are they now. It's the same way I just did for New York, because if you want to say, where's Quando Rondo? Where, hell, one of the biggest guys, Lil Durk. Where's Lil Durk right now? Right? This rapper that was killed, this rapper that was killed, that rapper that was killed, this rapper that was killed. Chicago's got the longest list of these. King Von, he was set to be the next hip hop star. King Von. All right. We see what happened to King Von. All right. Chief Keef. And I want to sprinkle in some of the God tier, the views, the dancing, and the GOAT type of stuff, because it's going to bleed into some of my battle rap talk. Chief Keef really is the drill scene GOAT. And when I say drill, I'm talking about New York, I'm talking about Chicago, I'm talking about London. You take whatever city is popping and has drill rap, a drill rap buzz, or drill rap is going crazy. Chief Keef is the god of all of it. First of all, out in Chicago, they pretty much say that he's like the first, right? He's pretty much the first. Okay. So you got to give him that credit. Numbers. We don't want to talk about numbers, right? In any field, because when people say numbers, that's views and that's also money, right? Numbers. He's killing both arenas. All right. He's pulled a lot of money out of this game. And if you pull up his views, what? Go ahead and search it on YouTube if you want, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a whole bunch of 100+ million view videos and whatnot, and his clips. It's Chief Keef. Longevity, checks that box. Okay. Transition. The thing about transitions in this world, it's one thing to transition to a different type of career or demographic or fan base and still remain successful, i.e., like, let's say a Gilly, rapper and street promoter and whatnot, to podcaster. Joe Button, rapper to podcaster, right? Those type of transitions, it's dope to see those, but there's also transitions where you stay within the same lane that we know you for, which is just being a rapper. Chief Keef transitioned. I know it sounds crazy to say. It's like, no, he's still doing drill rap, but he transitioned. Look at his career. When you talk about survival and when you talk about longevity and when you talk about evading the trap, Chief Keef, stat-wise, could have died right there with everybody else. And I'm pretty sure his life is in danger a million fucking times, right? But the dice lined up the right way for him. He made it out. He stayed away. He just makes millions of dollars on the road year round. That's all Chief Keef seems to do. You listen to his interviews now. He speaks clearer. He's more cool. He's more collected. He's more mature. You just don't look at Chief Keef and see anything about reckless nature the way that you would still see today's average drill rapper. You don't see any of the reckless nature in him anymore. That's a transition. He grew up. And that's the whole thing about not just surviving your surroundings and the people around you and your environment, but you have to survive yourself, right? You have to get to a certain place where you finally shit clicks and you say, okay, I'm here in my late 20s or my 30s or my early 40s. And finally I'm waking up and I'm realizing like, yo, I can't stand on that corner no more. What the fuck am I doing? And a lot of these drill rappers, they be having kids still, but they're not mature enough. So they still putting their lives in danger. Chief Keef, he cut all that shit. He said, I ain't fucking with none of y'all. And he let like probably like thousands of y'all for years call him, you cut out. You left where you from. You not built like that. They scared you out of Chicago. They said all this type of shit. And he put on his thick skin and he said, that's cool. I'll be all of that. And none of these motherfuckers would take longer than 5 seconds to trade places with Chief Keef right now. That is your drill rap god tier. That is your drill rap god. That is your drill rap goat. This man has done it all, checked every box. And it's sad that the average drill rapper has to live within the trap to be successful for X amount of years before he even gets an opportunity to transition. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Coming off a drill rap, trigger warning on the way. Trigger warning on the way. I want to stay with New York-based teen violence for a second, because a lot of these New York drill rappers, we meet them in their fucking teens. Some of them is like in their 20s now, whatever. Does K-Flock have a mustache yet? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. Shout out to Checks and Balances on this one. Y'all sent me this one this morning, and I promise you, I had a topic for this segment of the stream that I took out and I inserted this. Because when I saw this article, let me read it to y'all first, and then y'all gonna be like, oh, the same way I was. Watch this. Convicted killer, 15-year-old Junior. That's what everybody remembers him by. Junior Guzman Feliz, who showed no remorse, found dead in New York prison. Let me read the caption. The man convicted in brutal killing of 15-year-old Junior Guzman Feliz was found dead in a prison cell on Friday, according to New York State correctional records. 31-year-old Martinez Estrella, serving 25 years to life at a correctional facility, was discovered unresponsive around 1:16 p.m. Authorities say the cause of death is still under investigation by state coroners. Martinez had originally received a life sentence without parole for first-degree murder after being found guilty of delivering the fatal stab wound in the 2018 Bronx attack. That sentence was later reduced in 2023 when an appeals court disagreed with the torture charge, and he was resentenced in May 2025. All right, so torture-wise, he got dropped off of that. Stay with me once again, trigger warning. I understand why that charge came in back then, but Junior, a young teen with dreams of becoming a police officer, was mistakenly targeted by Trinitarios. That was like the gang name. I never was able to pronounce that. Gang members. After being chased by multiple cars, he was dragged from a bodega and fatally stabbed outside on Bathgate Avenue. Over a dozen gang members have been sentenced for their roles, many receiving 25 to life terms. On the right side, in the Yankee that in the Yankee shirt that wanted to be a police officer, Junior. That's the name that rang for me when I saw this in Checks and Balances this morning. I said, "Oh, I remember this." This was huge, huge, huge news, people. Huge news. And you see this guy here, at one of his court dates, is still doing what he's doing, still acting this stuff out and being a reckless guy, showing no remorse, and then they slapped him at the board. And he deserved it. He deserved it. I'm a civilian, and I'm a man, and I'm a human. I'm a man. I'm a human. I'm a civilian. So over on this channel, you're not going to catch me this whole like, oh, street code. You're not allowed to ever say wish death, not death, jail. Shut the fuck up. That's for you ignorant motherfuckers. That's not for me. And I don't even want to call everybody ignorant. Some people got their street codes, and it is what it is. Y'all live y'all life. I'm me. The guy deserved to get slapped with life behind this. This little 15-year-old kid, what he went through. I'm gonna bring the footage up. There's documentaries about it. The little 15-year-old kid was hunted. When you talk about living a nightmare, and it was mistaken identity. Like he wasn't even caught up in he wasn't gang banging. He wasn't in the life. He wasn't part of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all in the chat know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember this story? Now, the man side of me is saying that motherfucker right there deserved to get life. The human side of me ain't gonna do nothing on the whole. They just found him dead in prison. I'm gonna chill, because I feel that life is precious. I don't like to wish death. I feel like if he got his life sentence, that was his consequence. I'm cool there. I'm gonna leave the whole him passing away thing. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna be respectful. That's the human side of me. But boy, when I saw these guys get convicted, I was like, good for him. Good for him. Like when I say there's documentaries out on this shit, people. Trigger warning this morning. But this is also in reminder of keeping an eye on these young kids, especially as parents. And also a tribute to Junior, because me as a New Yorker, I swear to God, I remember how every New Yorkers, it should have felt like this for everybody, but how we felt about this situation when it happened, and how we felt about even this little kid, Junior. So this is kind of like a tribute, but still triggers.
A group of gang members armed with machetes and knives. A teenager hunted down and dragged from a New York City bodega, then swarmed by attackers outside. The vicious murder in June of Lissandra Guzman Feliz, just blocks from his Bronx home, drew outrage from across the city and beyond. The incident revealed the barbaric tactics of a gang called the Trinitarios, and it laid bare a glaring paradox. Amid historically low crime rates in New York, police are still struggling to contain brutal violence in some neighborhoods. The footage went viral, and with it, rumor and speculation about why the 15-year-old boy known as Junior was singled out. We obtained footage from multiple security cameras and cell phones. We talked to police sources, family members, and other witnesses. Our investigation retraces Junior's last steps and uncovers new details that may answer why he was targeted. It's Wednesday, June 20th. Junior is on summer break from school. He's at home with his mother.
Eran como casi las 10 de la noche. Ya yo estaba en cama viendo novelas en televisión para dormirme. Mi niño estaba aquí jugando Nintendo en su habitación.
At 10:05 p.m., security footage shows Junior leaving home to meet his friend, Jason Velez, at this corner. They hang out on a stoop close by, chatting and listening to hip-hop, according to Jason. At around 11:30, Junior leaves, and 2 minutes later, security cameras catch him on this corner, passing near his home. He was walking towards Adams Place, a small street about 5 minutes away that's known for gang activity. Friends and family told us that Junior wasn't in a gang, and the police have no such indication either. But some of his friends were, and he had been hanging out with them at Adams Place recently. On his way there, Junior was in touch with this friend, who lives on Adams Place, and who, according to our reporting, is not in a gang either. The friend says he told Junior not to come over because it was late. At 11:35, a security camera films 4 cars driving slowly past the stoop where Junior's friend and some others were sitting. The friend says they felt things were getting dicey and went inside. The cars briefly stop at this intersection and then turn left in the direction of Junior's path. According to police, the drivers spot Junior and taunt him. Junior begins to run, and the cars give chase. The cars then split up and appear to surround him. It's 11:37. Junior rushes into this bodega just 1 block from his home. In a panic, he tries to hide behind the counter, but it's too late. One man, identified by prosecutors as Jose Tavares, enters the bodega and spots Junior. He's been charged with these crimes. He leaves, and immediately 3 other men enter. Police have identified them as Daniel Fernandez, Kevin Alvarez, and Michael Sosa Reyes, who has not been charged in relation to Junior's killing. Parked outside the bodega are the cars that chased Junior. At least 8 other men are on the lookout, some armed with knives. A warning, these next scenes are hard to watch, and we've obscured some graphic parts.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall back on those pieces. I mean, if anybody wants to go watch the full mini documentary, it's only 7 minutes, and it's titled "How a Gang Hunted and Killed a 15-year-old in the Bronx." That's the name of it. I remember this video from back then. This is a 6-year-old video. I remember this video. So I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Tragic, sad, unfortunate. To see this little young 15-year-old kid get hunted like that and done like that, to live those type of last moments is a nightmare. So when I saw that clip, checks and balances, I swear to God, y'all are on point. You know, of one of the attackers, you know, was found deceased in his jail cell. I said, wow, we don't forget what that's tied to. You know, keep your karma good, people. Some people would say that person just got 2 different consequences. Some people may say that, you know, life sentence and then keep your karma good. Okay, let's tough. Let me pick the energy back up in the room for everybody that's on their Monday grind. I don't want everybody to start walking slower, like, oh man. Keep the beat up, everybody. All right, I got y'all. Let's get this more on a fun road now. Okay, let me get the energy back right. I got y'all. Let's get to is Aye Verb God Tier. Let me do a little bit of social media real quick. Just have some fun with it. Why not? Slap the cage once in a while. So did y'all see when Aye Verb posted the video of Hitman dancing and he was like, oh, gangsters don't do this. I'm about to interview Whack 100 about this, blah, 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 blah. Shout out to Mickey Fax, just for being solid and you know, checking clowns, because Mickey Fax and Verb are friends. He says, what's crazy is I fuck with Hitman dances and the song. Verb then replies to Mickey saying, can me, Lux, or Mook do that? First of all, stop there. You're not Lux and you're not Mook. That's number one. But Mickey answers him and he says, Lux, Mook have literal videos online dancing. And it goes all the way back. Hold on, where's that thread? Where's that fucking thread? Oh shit, did I miss it? Hold on, where's the thread? Where's the fucking thread? Oh shit. Damn. You see, when I went back on the thread, it wasn't there. Let me just go to Aye Verb's Twitter. What a fucking idiot. What a idiot. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let me see if we can find it now. Can we find it? Where was the clip? The nigga fucking Mickey replied to him and said, try again. Because niggas put up a clip of fucking Mook and K-Shine dancing their ass off, like having a good old time in some club. And yo, where is it? Oh man. If y'all find it, chat, link it to me. It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. I just got a video of me up there. All right. Well, we lost it. We lost the thread. But if y'all find it, chat, let me know. I was gonna play it for y'all. It was a video of Mook and K-Shine really, really getting and this is the transition that I was really doing, people. Chat, if you put the link in the chat, I'll pull it up for y'all. But the transition that I was really doing is just the level of cornballism. You know what I'm saying? The relevance even to the thumbnail. Everybody in the thumbnail, except for Verb, is a shooter, a gangster, a killer, either serving life right now, serving time right now, Fort Rico charges, right? You got Chef G in there. You got K-Flock in there, right? And you got DThang in my thumbnail, right? All demons. Real life demons. Okay? What's one of the things they do the most in their fucking videos? They dance their fucking asses off. They dance their fucking asses off. Okay? Actually, dancing in the New York drill scene is one of the main ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that kick flipping it. Hey, 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 right? And they all will shoot you in your fucking head till your hoodie catch fire. What are you talking about? God forbid. You know, it'd be worse to me, right? The gangster or the street nigga or the tough guy that's just way too tough to dance, right? It's just way, way, way too tough to dance. Oh, I like this one. Yo, people they used to have MC Hammer fucked up, right? This was a great one, chat. People had MC Hammer fucked up. MC Hammer is one of the he'll fuck you over bad. He's one of the legends when it comes to dancing. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. What? Play with him. See what he does. His level of cornballism. But let's now get into the title of is Aye Verb a God tier? Okay. Now, before we start to answer the question, we gotta ask, what's a God tier? Chat, what's a God tier? What's some ingredients to you to being a God tier? Chat, start to put them in the chat for me. Look at y'all still doing the dancing shit. Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel dance like crazy. Hot nigga was all centered around the dance and throw the hat in. It's true. He also get play with him. Get drive around Brooklyn asking about GS9. He's such a fucking clown. And he had the nerve to say, would me, Lux, or Mook do it? And then niggas go pull clips of Mook dancing his ass off. It's like, what's wrong with you, Verb? He really is a dummy. But, you know, regardless of how stupid Aye Verb is, let's talk God tier. So I think my definition of a God tier, oh shit, somebody put a loss can never affect you when you're God tier. Interesting. That might be true. That might be true. This one says you can't lose money to gyms and be a God tier. Debate over. Oh shit. God tier brings fans out. Okay, so I asked y'all for y'all definition. Okay. All right. Views, impact, draw. Views, impact, and draw. I like it. I like it. I like it. Consistent fire battles, battle after battle. Okay. Some people have off nights, but you can't be a choker and have to win a majority of your battles. Okay. All right. All right. God tier has to sell a card and pack a venue. Okay. So there's a lot of comments that y'all put around draw, views, the impact. You know, when I said on Space the other day, crack Earth, I think that's kind of like draw and impact, right? Crack Earth, impact, same thing. So I'm kind of aligned with y'all. I feel like a God tier, number one, they are always A side. Even if they're on the right side of the flyer, you could just swap the flyer and it would still mean the same thing, right? God tier. God tier on God tier is the whole earth goes black, right? But a God tier is always A side. And for me, if you are a God tier, everything in that particular arena stops. So let's use sports. Okay. Let's use sports. If anybody lives in a city that has a team that's like underwhelming or doesn't have a superstar on it, right? Buy a ticket to that basketball game. Let's say what's a team that doesn't really have a star like that? Nola still got Zion, and he's a highlight reel, right? I could even use the Charlotte Hornets. I know they got LaMelo there, but you know, like, and I know it's like to even go to like, let's say a Hawks game, right? They got Trae Young. You go to, you know, the Hawks versus the Hornets. 70% of the seats are open. But the moment LeBron James, even at 42 years of age or whatever, comes into town, that arena is packed. Those tickets are sold out. Those prices jump. It goes from a regular seat, mid-range seat for $75 to a nosebleed costing, you know, $400 or some shit. Because LeBron, the God tier, the guy that cracks earth is in the building. Okay. Boxing. Let's say Tank, Canelo, to a degree, Crawford. I don't, well, he's getting there. He's getting there. You know what? Let me just go old school to make sure that nobody's, you know, starts to create debates, subtopics. Floyd Mayweather. All right. The reason why he talks money so much, the money is tied to the views. The views are tied to the draw. The draw is the people, hence the fans. And the fans are there because everything stops. That guy is fighting. It's all connected. Okay. So when people try to just say, all you talk about is views in that particular conversation, you got to think about the views being connected to all of those pieces. The view represents the person and the people, okay, in whatever amount. All right. So when Floyd fights, we all stopped. And that's why he was a cash cow. When it was God tier on God tier and he fought Manny Pacquiao, the earth went black. Okay. So we did basketball, we did boxing. You guys want to do one more? You know what I'm saying? You want to do I see people doing music in the chat. Okay, cool. I like this one. Beyonce. Perfect. Beyonce. God tier. I don't care if you like her music, hate her music, right? The girls, she announces an album. She drops a new song. She drops a new video. These are the people that's going to be on your Super Bowl halftime shows. These are the people that's going to have like top 10 touring numbers and shit like that. These are the people that while they're out and about, you see people fainting and crying and going crazy, right? Beyonce. So we just did three different areas. We did music, we did boxing, and we did basketball, right? Coming to battle rap now. Battle rap, of course, has a smaller fan base and selling range, right? But you still can define the biggest of this type of industry. So if cracking earth, if always being an A side, if having a big draw, if having high views, if being the top paid are elements of these Mayweathers and LeBrons and Beyoncés, that has to be a similar case in battle rap. We can't change it when we get to battle rap. Why would the criteria change? Okay. I gave an example on Spaces. I said, if I'm going to use those pieces of criteria, there's not a God tier that has a battle that I haven't seen. Okay. Like if you got 20 battles and I didn't check them out, that's because the earth didn't stop. I'm probably replicated by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands. People that said, oh, he's battling, but it's not just me. I'm not some hater. It's just like, well, you didn't watch it. You're on your own. ARP. No. Like the sentiment and the energy and the buzz of things normally are common. You know, there was people tweeting me that, yo, I was just online at the supermarket and they're talking about Hitman versus Cassidy's face off. Right? Energy is common. It traverses. Okay. So who are my God tiers by the definitions that we're setting out? I said Murder Mook. From a battle rap standpoint, when he battles, everything stops. His views, his draw, his money, his relevance, his impact, all of that. Right? Murder Mook. Loaded Lux. Hitman Holla. Cassidy. Sue Surf. I said those 5 guys. If I add in, which I do understand and I do agree with from a debate that we were having the other day, a 6th person kind of as an anomaly, a little bit to the formula, but still deserves to be mentioned there, the 6th person would be Tay-Rock. Okay? So those are your 5 and 6 God tiers, in my opinion. God tier is not to be misconstrued with a Mount Rushmore. There's nothing wrong with being a Mount Rushmore, right? There's a lot of people that I look at that are on the Mount Rushmore conversation, and I like some of them more than I like some of the God tiers, as far as just watching them, as far as their talent. You know what I'm saying? Who are some of the Mount Rushmore candidates? You got a you got a Rex, you got a Mook, you got a Lux, you got a Hitman, you got most of the God tiers, right? That get mentioned there. They don't put Cassidy there because Cassidy's got that celebrity element, and also Cassidy doesn't have enough battles, right? But they put Mook there. They argue Lux there. Some people argue Holla there. Some people's gonna argue Hollow the Don there. Some people's gonna argue Charlie Clips there, Arsenal there, DNA there, Rex. I've seen at times even a K-Shine mentioned for Mount Rushmore. You know who's another person that doesn't get mentioned enough from Mount Rushmore, but deserves the argument, especially at the peak of his career? Disaster. Disaster could be argued on the Mount Rushmore. Let's be honest here. Let's be real today. I don't do the whole shitting on your career just because I don't like you, right? Now, when we talk about Aye Verb specifically, Aye Verb has one of the best resumes in battle rap history. You cannot take that from that man. He has some of the most legendary moments in battle rap history. You can't take that from that man. He has some incredible performances. Can't take it from that man. Okay? But Aye Verb to me is similar, like with Arsenal and DNA and Charlie Clips and Disaster, and that's a great fucking thing. Mount Rushmore candidates. God tiers have that cracking ground element. They are all end game element. They are always A side element. They are always stopping the earth and everybody's watching element. They are the people that we haven't missed any of their battles element. They are always having million view battles element. They are the top paid element. That's what separates the God tiers. You know what I'm saying? It's not a diss of how we categorized Mount Rushmores. That's like Stephen A always getting dissed because he's got LeBron number 2 instead of number 1. It's like, yo, people, I'm saying he's number 2. Got him ahead of Wilt Chamberlain and Julius Erving and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and all these people, and y'all mad at me because I got him number 2. There's a difference between MJ and some of these other people that are Mount Rushmores. He's the end boss. He's the final. He's the A side. He's the alpha always, no matter what. He's the top paid always, no matter what. You see what I'm saying? So I felt it was real clear for me to lay that out so people don't think that this day 12 for Verb is like hate or anything like that. Like, no, I'm always going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. Okay. So now, by definition, when we look at what we just laid out for God tiers, shout out to Verse Tracker. I went to Verse Tracker and I want to see if my criteria or my formula for a God tier versus a Mount Rushmore, if it traverses numbers wise. And because I saw a lot of people in the chat also saying views and numbers and impact, right? That's all tied together. So if I type in Murder Mook, let's do Murder Mook first. And on Verse Tracker, we see, let's look at his battles. All right. Million views, almost a million. I'm surprised his Briz, especially with the, also because the battle didn't finish. I'm surprised this isn't at a million yet, but it's at 800. Okay. This was definitely not supposed to be a million views. If Murder Mook could do a million views, or if any God tier can do a million views in a social distance video battle, shit, I'd stop booking these motherfuckers on the stage and make it easier. So yeah, this ain't supposed to be a million views. Yeah, million views. I'm surprised the Party Artie shit ain't million views. Is this because this is uploaded in pieces? Remember when Smack used to do that? Upload like round 1, round 2, round 3. But the Loaded Luck shit, million views. Young Hot Battle, they don't got as million views here. Jones, million views. Okay, and this stuff is shit that people don't even know about, to be honest, these battles. All right, but no, he's a million. Like, you look at this layout here, and it's like, okay, pretty much everything that Murder Mook does, people are stopping to watch. You don't just be a surface thing and say, he's just saying the views. It's not just the views. The views are a piece of the impact, which is a piece of the people, which is a piece of everybody saying, I must tune in. That's how these people get to the high views. You know, be a smarter thinker, people. All right, let's check out Loaded Lux. Let's check out Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux. Let me see if it looks like just about everything he's touching's got that platinum plaque on it. Oh, him and Nitty's not a million views yet. All right, so that came out almost 6 months ago. It's 50,000 views away from a million. So that's a million view battle to me. All right, I ain't gonna be petty. That's a million views. Million. Sheesh. Him and Charlie Clips is almost diamond. There's not a lot of close to diamond or diamond battles in battle rap unless you go to like Flip Top. I'm talking about from the States leagues. Like, I didn't know that Lux Clips is that nigga when it comes to views. And of course, Loaded is an A-side alpha, but Clips is a part of this. I didn't know that this was almost diamond. Shit. Million. I don't even remember what this is. Lux versus D. I don't even remember what this is, to be honest. Okay. That fell out. This fell out. Oh, this is 106 and Park shit. We're not gonna count those. All right. I don't give a fuck about those. But this one, yeah, million. Okay. So pretty much everything that Lux touches, it's got that impact. It's got that draw. It's got that everybody stop, everybody pay for me, everybody watch. Let's go to no, let me go to Cassidy. I know Cassidy don't really got much going on, too many battles, but still what he has online on YouTube, I want to check out. Okay, million. This has Cassidy versus Disaster at 713. His freeway shit, of course, million. I don't believe that. That's Verse Tracker. What's that about? I don't think that Cassidy has anything that's under a million. Cassidy versus Disaster. I don't believe that. Okay, y'all could do what I just did. All right, so if you type in Cassidy versus Disaster, the first video that comes up is 1.3 million views. Cassidy versus Disaster full battle. And this channel is called Sticks, both with 2 X's. And then underneath that, it's got another one, full battle, uploaded at 771,000 views. So this is what Cassidy was talking about when he used to argue, when my battles go up, everybody's putting them up, and they're doing millions of views and hundreds of thousands of views on different channels. So he wasn't lying. So yes, he's got him and Disaster full battle up here and one of them is 1.3 million views. Okay, I know y'all can't see that on the screen because I didn't want to bring down verse tracker, but I just checked it. So yes, everything that Cassidy has that's online is a million. Everything. Okay. Let's go to Hitman. Part of me wants to do Charlie clips, but I'll leave Charlie alone. Shout out to my nigga Charlie. Let's see what Hitman got going on. I'm pretty sure his views is horrible. Million. His 2-on-2 is only 800,000. I'm surprised at that. That's star-studded. That's got clips, goods, him, John. Why is that only 8? Oh, no, I read 800,000. I'm tripping. My bad. 8 million. My bad. I thought I was seeing 800,000. I was like, what? But no, okay. Million. Let's keep going. Million. Oh, I almost forgot that him and Bill passed 5 million. I'm not even paying attention to my own channel. Where's him and Cass? Him and Cass is 6'3". Can Hitman and Cassidy go diamond if you give it like another 5, 6, 7 years? Can that be RBE's diamond battle? That's what you get when you do God tier versus God tier. You can get 5 mil better. Okay? And we could see that happening as well in some of these numbers that we're looking at. When you put multiple God tiers together, it's like a guaranteed 5 million. Wow. I'm just going on the formula that the chat and that my own you know what I'm saying? We're seeing what we're seeing. Black and white. All right, million. Him and O-Red is not a million. Oh, y'all suck on UW. Y'all suck. Holla and O-Red. Y'all gotta figure that out. Million. Diamond. What did I just say? Him and Surf. 2 God tiers. God tier on God tier crime. 10 million. Diamond battle. Hey. Million. 905. Nah, I ain't giving you that. The way I gave it to the other one, that was 50,000 off Nitty and Lux. Yeah, I was 100 grand off. I ain't giving you that. Holla and Rex. Nope. You gotta earn that last 100,000. Million. A vaulted. Oh, this is the hallway shit with Farrah. 450. That don't count. The King Juice shit. 180,000. Oh, second round. I remember they uploaded that in pieces, right? Or is this even when not even? This is the shit that's not even on stage. They upload their rounds like separately, like on some social distance shit. I'm looking at the background of math here. Yeah. And that still got you a couple 100,000 views. Why not? All right, million. Street status only 36,000 versus Cali. I'm surprised at that. Million. Oh yeah, what is this? Versus Remy. Okay. Million. 778 versus Big T. I'm surprised at that. Rich Dollars is only 280. I'm surprised at that. Million. All right, now we're getting down here into cornrows, holla and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just like Lux, just like Mook, you can chalk him in for 1 million. Cassidy, and I know people's gonna say, yeah, but he's only got the 5 that's there on verse tracker. But he's the anomaly of even all y'all. You know what? Let's do Sue Surf real quick. Because even though he's only got 5, Cassidy could still say, but every single one of my joints. Let me look at Sue Surf, who I also put as a God tier. Sue Surf. Let's see what he got going on. Let's see what Surf got going on. Him and Cortez is 100,000 views away from 1 million. Okay. And I admit, that's no disrespect to Cortez, but Cortez Cortez does views almost like a mid-tier. Cortez is a legend. Cortez is a top tier, right? But his views are like a mid-tier, to be honest. So this is like Sue Surf carrying a majority of the viewership, right? That's no disrespect to Core. Shout out to Core. But it's a God tier. So Sue Surf, you gotta grab that extra 100,000 views. Million. His Rex battle is low, only 150. That was a bad battle, if I remember correctly. Million. His Verb battle is only 643. Surprised at that. Probably because Sue Surf had such a bad performance in that too. See when sometimes you can hurt yourself, right? Million. The diamond one. million. Oh no, not this one. Is a DNA joint. Okay, this one we start getting down here, but still, this one's a million versus Young Ill. Sees that Midwest movie. All right, let's go to our friend of the channel. Let's go to Aye Verb. Let's go to Aye Verb. Let's save the best for last. Let's go to the king, the self-proclaimed king. 80,000. You and Chilla. Okay. 270. You and Swamp. You and Will. 322. You and Mickey. 120. You and A Ward. 558, which is 4th place viewership wise from Max Out. The top view video from Max Out is Hitman vs. Ill Will. After that, it's I believe Calico and Goods. After that, it's Arsenal versus B Magic. And then in 4th place on Max Out 3, it's Aye Verb versus A Ward, which makes no sense. The guy that deserves $1 million for his promo run. Okay. 103. Oh, here goes $1 million. But look who's in it. A God Tier. A God Tier. So the last time that Verb did 1 million views, he battled the God Tier. And God Tiers give people their 1 million view battles. It's like I don't remember the last time I saw an Ill Will battle that was 1 million views, even though Ill Will is one of the best ever. But view-wise, he doesn't average those type of numbers. But when he battled Hitman, 1 million views. Okay. So yeah, Loaded Lux gave Verb, in this case, 1 million views. Versus Gage, 316. Pat Stay, 520. Again, he battles a God Tier. Mook, 1 million views. So the last 2 times you've done 1 million views, you were B-side to a God Tier. Okay. What's this one? 10,000 views. Okay, and before that, Twerk. Dare I say at this time, Twerk is, and then the whole hoodie down and everything. Twerk might be the reason why you got 1 million views with him. We beat the shit out of Verb, right? Well, Verb had a good showing. I ain't gonna do too much. Verb had a good showing. But this is the hoodie down moment. That's like one of the biggest haymakers, you know what I'm saying, on URL and shit. Standing over the body with the hoodie down. Right? Yeah. So he's been given his last 3 million views. B. Dot 432. Sharon 315. Mr. Mills 41,000. That's what they mean about God Tiers giving people high view videos. Give somebody or bring somebody along with you to 500 or to 1 million. Mr. Mills, though, 41. Damn. I don't know what God Tier ever has under 100. Here goes 1 million. Another God Tier is in it. Hitman. All right. So 3 out of his 4. First of all, you don't get 1 million views all the way until back to Lux, which was 2019, 7 years ago. So he's battled 50 times since the last 7 years. He's got no 1 million view battles over the last 7 years. They're not tuning into him at that type of rate. So Lux, thank you. Mook, thank you. Hoodie Down, thank you. Hitman, thank you. Maybe I should just graduate Twerk to God Tier for this moment, because every one of his 1 million view battles over the last, now this is 2017, the last 8 years has a God Tier in them, with the exception of Twerk. 41,000 views, not crossing 100 again. You and Jim's 160. As much as we talk about that, you can't even get that judge battle and talked about battle to 200. Can I get a 250,000 on this Verb, please? You and Thesaurus, a legend, 216. You and Bonnie, she world starred you. Y'all still only got 291. Shit. Midwest Miles, 84,000. 117 versus D.I. the Henny Man. almost a mil. Here you go. You got 926 with Math and Cortez and Verb and Young Ill. I don't know. This might be Math Hoffa's Millie Rock. They might get this. They might get the credit for that. Was that being petty, or is that slightly true? I was dead serious with the twerk example, but am I being petty by trying to give it to the Millie Rock? Because the Millie Rock, Matt's Millie Rock was viral. I'm a historian, people. Is that petty, or is that, damn it, ARP, you might have made a point. Real Deal 311. There's nothing here. There's no million view battles. I'm pretty sure. Oh, here we go. Finally, K Shine 2015. Okay, I'm gonna give Verb a lot of credit in that. Did he get his ass whooped in that battle? I forget. Right. Here goes million view. Got a God Tier with you again, Hitman, your partner. Briz. Okay. 2015. You got a million views with Briz. Dope. I ain't hating on that. You and John got a million views. Dope. I ain't hating on that. That's 2014. You also got one with Daylight. I don't remember how bad Aye Verb's performance was in this one, but I do remember this event. This is when I think Adi Boom battled C3, right? That was this one. It's Daylight. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, you got 3 million with Goods, 2014. Shit, we're going back to the time when fucking RBE started. Hey, look at this. This is him versus Adi Boom, my first card. 170. We're getting all the way back to 10 years ago now. They don't really watch him even over a lot of other Mount Rushmores. To keep it 1,000. You know, he's not a draw. And I do see that in watch this. League owners and people that want to do battle rap business. I said before, you could see certain things that run parallel. They don't go like this together. What I mean by that? Door sales, pay-per-view sales, anticipation, and YouTube and social media engagement, and what somebody gets paid. They kind of run in parallels. Okay. You're not going to have somebody that puts up 1 million views on average and they get paid $1,500. Doesn't work that way. Because if somebody's able to put up 1 million views on YouTube, they're probably pulling in a couple thousand more pay-per-views. They're probably pulling a couple more people through the door. You can kind of see, I know battle rappers used to always use YouTube as a gauge of where they're at. You can't go number for number, of course. You can't say I do 1 million views on YouTube so that where it's free. So that means I do 1 million sales on pay-per-view where it costs $50. Duh, right? But there's parallels. Let's say 1 million view YouTuber battler is, let's say, right off the rip, 5,000 pay-per-views, right? That percentage. Let's say then a 500,000 view battle rapper on YouTube might be good for 2,000 pay-per-views, right? They run in parallels. 1 million view YouTube battle rapper that's always having those hits that probably makes more than $1,500. The building probably sold out too. The building's probably sold out. They're negotiating 50s and 100s and pay-per-view deals and all that type of stuff, because you see, I'm going to give you even a possible 10, 15, 20, $30,000 video on YouTube. When Holla was on with Polo the other day, and he showed his YouTube month of like $72,000, right? Geechee and Hitman was wrapped up in that. Okay. So when you got like a video that you could upload like Hitman versus Cassidy, I gotta pay those guys going in, because on the back end of that, even the YouTube video is going to possibly make RBE tens of thousands of dollars. This is, if your YouTube is making that, your YouTube video is making that much money, right? Everything in parallel is going to be reflected as well. I'm going to see it in the door. I'm going to see it on the stream being upped. I'm going to see it in your social media impact. If you are somebody that's getting paid $1,500, I bet you that venue was not sold out. I bet you that stream wasn't crazy. I bet you that YouTube check wasn't crazy. No, If you got paid, not $50, that's too much. If you got paid $1,000 for gyms, then I kind of expect to go to the YouTube video and see 150,000 views. I expect to walk in a club drum that day and it not to be sold out, even though you are a God tier, right? I expect that pay-per-view, if I pulled that up, to be maybe 1,500 sales or 2,000 sales. You know what I'm saying? I expect that. And you pay accordingly. If somebody's doing, averaging anywhere from 50 to 250,000 views on YouTube, that person shouldn't be walking up to you, league owner, and asking you for $15,000, right? YouTube is a gauge. Pay-per-view is a gauge. The door being sold out is a gauge. They're gauges. They're metrics. This is how you run business. This is how you do forecasting, okay? This is why the Aye Verbs of the world would never be able to run a successful league. He doesn't know how to do shit like this. He doesn't know. He's just going to try to pay what he thinks is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and he's broke. He don't even really have it to pay like that. So he's got to get a bunch of favor bookings and shit. You know who's going to call for his first card? The people that he be in spaces with. You know what I'm saying? Like Trufo's going to be, and shout out to Trufo. Trufo's going to be on the card. He'll probably call Mickey Fax. Yeah, I pay Mickey though. Mickey's not a free or a cheap guy. Like Mickey's gonna be like, I fuck with you, we're friends and everything, but don't have me come out and do all this writing and all this type of shit for free, Verb. Like if Mickey wants 10 grand, Verb, you got it? I don't think you got it. I see you tweet, I'm not gonna battle. I'm gonna sit back. You should. The reason why Aye Verb should battle on his very first card, on his own card, the same way Hitman did, right? Because let us see what you do. Don't hide in the shadows. No. Don't hide. Let us see what you do. It's the make another hole concept. Once again, let us see what you can draw. Now, you should want the money, right? You are the guy that is accusing Hitman and ARP of robbing you for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So if that's what you draw, why the fuck wouldn't you want to do that on your own shit that you own? You own the league, you own the full back-end pay-per-view, you own the footage. You could create the momentum in your event because you're this God tier that's coming out and scorching earth because you main evented on the card, the set. Why wouldn't you do that? The only reason you wouldn't do that is because you can't do it. You can't do those things. If Aye Verb main events on his own card when he finally kicks off his own league, right? What do you think the YouTube views are going to do unless he books himself versus a God tier and he can't afford that? Let us see. And fuck RBE. If you're willing to promote like that versus A-Ward on another man's company that owns the footage and owns the rights and all that type of shit, you should do that times 10 on your own shit because you own it now, right? You know how they say nobody will take care of your own shit the way that you will, right? It's your platform. So you should be the God tier in the main event, drag that shit to 1 billion views and 1 billion pay-per-view sales. If I owe you hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you should be able to generate yourself on your own card at least a cool $500,000. No? Or is he cap? Dumb nigga. He's a dummy. He's such a dummy. But I see through it. I know why you don't want to battle on your own card. I see through it. All right. Shout out to Checks and Balances on this one too. I saw this. This was dope to show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ladies. New York Knicks are in active talks with Dawn Staley or Staley. I don't know her. To become their new head coach. If hired, she'd make history as the first woman to ever lead an NBA team as head coach. Is she from the WNBA? I don't know her, to be honest. But Nick Cannon posted this. He posted caption of "This would be dope." All the way here for this. I think many of us are. I would love to see the history of this. You know, female black coach in the NBA. That's fire. That's fire. I don't even know her credentials, and I'm rooting for this. I hope it happens. The Knicks, you guys fired the coach that got you the furthest that you've ever been in the last 80 years. nobody understands. The Knicks fans never understand what the front office is doing. But at least from a support standpoint, I think New York will get behind you for this. So, Knicks, work it out, man. You dropped the ball on everything else. I want to see something else real funny before we get out of here real quick. I posted this on my story yesterday. Just a little quick funny one that I thought was like, yo, these fucking drill rappers, man, and they video shoots, man. Jesus. Yo, look how nonchalant niggas is at. Is this a security guard? That's a holster right here. This is a security guard too? It might be off duty because I don't see no gun in his holster. He's just nonchalantly at the counter buying his shit. The cash register attendant is nonchalantly just sitting there like it is what it is. The other security guard that's getting caught on camera, he's like, yo, there's a lot going on in this video. What city is this?
Lemon squeeze if he
What city
sneezes.
is that? Look at him, frozen. Look at this security guard. Wow. I mean, some people ask, what can you do? The only option that you got two options. You mind your fucking business or you call the cops, right? Like, you're already at a loss. Like, what's the security guard going to do? Walk up on him and say, hey, guys, I need you guys all to take this outside. Fuck no, he ain't going to do that. He going to get marlowed if he do that. Oh, you want it to be one way. But it's still, right? You got to be kidding me. I would have did the same thing. I would have been frozen there on fucking camera like that. If I walked around the corner, if I was working in that store and I came out of my office and I saw that, I would look and I would say, no. I'll go, you want some too, old man? No. And I'm walking back around the corner that I came from. Y'all got it. Y'all in here with mini Drakes and all this type of shit. That security guard fuck around didn't even have a gun. He might have had did he have a gun? Let me look at his hip. Let's look at the one that's frozen. Did he have a gun? Did he at least have a gun? He's got a badge. He's got the shirt that says security. I don't know what this is. That looks like a cell phone. I don't think this guy is strapped, man. I don't think he hold it. Why does he have his hands frozen like that? Y'all see what I'm saying? This on the left is his badge. This right here, it looks like a cell phone. And behind the cell phone, it don't look like a strap. It doesn't. If it is, it makes it worse. But why are his hands in the air like that? Why is he surrendering? Dude, react. Do your job or walk the fuck away. Do not stand there around these young guys with a security t-shirt frozen. They're going to look at you and say, what's up? You got a problem? Make a decision. Go or go. Oh, shit. All right. Did I miss any supers? Once again, shout out to our member KX with the gifts or the channel as always. Ride and Dirty Radio says, good morning, ARP. You help get my mornings going. I appreciate you for being involved, homie. Thank you for joining the chat and being a part of the podcast, man. Appreciate it, man. T Method over here. Get Ready says, good morning, ARP and the Rare Breed family. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you. Members. Jamar King with the super. I appreciate you, homie. We got that boy Jizzle. He be in here a lot. It says he's got an emoji that didn't come out on the chat. It says to the mods in chat, to the streams. Looks like a shout out to me. What's up, Jizzle? Appreciate you. Our mod and member Jay says, do surfs next, please. Oh, numbers? You see, I did it. Yeah, I want to make sure I included all the people that I said was a God tier because fuck my opinions. Let's bring up the black and white stuff, right? So, you see, I put a lot of evidence with Aye Verb discussions, right? I got a lot more. Tana says Holla Cassidy also have a 1 million view face off. Not just 1 million. They're like What is that? Holla versus Cassidy face off. It's 4.1 million. 4.1 million views, their face off. That's crazy. That is crazy. You want to see something else that might be crazy too? If we go to 15, let me try this. 15 minutes of fame. Hitman, Cassidy. Let me see if it comes up like that. Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, here it is right here. You see it at the top of my screen? Hitman versus Cassidy gets out of control temporarily. Let me put it on the big screen. This is 15 minutes of fame. And this 3-minute moment from the battle has 1.5 million views. And got a platinum plaque just from a clip from the Cassidy and Hitman battle. All right. Everybody talking about Cassidy and Hitman. Look at the views. Cassidy addresses controversial face-off. Almost 700,000 views. Geechee and Swamp break down Hitman and Cassidy, moving towards 100,000 views. Twerk keeps it all the way real with Cassidy and Hitman, 100,000 views. Goods weighs in on Cassidy and Hitman, 250,000 views. Bill Collector says I have Cassidy all 3 rounds. Right, that's an outlier. It's only 23. But whether you had clips or you were talking about it, the battle or the face-off, everybody was doing hundreds of thousands of views. Everybody ate alongside that. Bloggers, media, RBE, the card, Hitman, Cassidy. And then y'all wonder why Holla could post a $500,000 screenshot. This is why, you jealous, hating ass. You weren't a part of cracking the ground like this. All right. I know you tried to buy yourself a new house with your A-Ward promo run, but you're Aye Verb. So it doesn't translate. I'm sorry. You end up being the 4th highest viewed on the card. Like, that's a fact. Like, what do y'all want me to do? It's numbers as a fact. He wants to crack the ground, but you got to be a God tier to do that. Oh, that's kind of a perfect outro.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.